If you're still working a job and trying to run a cleaning business on the side, and you're wondering whether or not it's time or when it will be time for you to leave that job and come do this full time, then this video is for you. And really, more specifically, this video is for Scott Metzfield from the Pressure Washing Friends Facebook group. Scott, thanks for asking this question. I'm going to try to give you some of my advice based upon my experience and what I've seen work for a lot of other people and how I would do what you're talking about doing. So, guys, let's jump into Scott's question here and maybe can give you a little bit of insight on your particular situation. So, Scott says, hey, he's wanting to know how did other people know it was the right time to leave their job and go all in on their business? So, he has a good job making in the 80s, 80,000 plus, and he's been growing his side business of pressure washing. In 2018, they did 175,000, and that was 4 years ago. And he feels like it might be time to jump in at 100%. He has been focusing mostly on growth, sales, and marketing and booking. He's confident that this year they could do 350 to 400. So he wants to know when it would be time to quit his day job, and he needs to make this decision in the next 90 days. So, Scott, first thing I would say is why are you giving us a revenue figure from 4 years ago if you're thinking about hitting 350 today? That leaves a big gap of data that makes me want to know really what's going on in your company. You made more money, right? I mean, are we like 250, more than that? Because if you're at 175, it is totally possible to jump to 350, but it's a different situation. So I'm just going to make an assumption that you're still growing, right? Now, a lot of guys out there in the audience would have already left their job in order to get to this 175,000. So great job, Scott. Uh, Good work there. And I'm assuming that adding pressure washing to your window cleaning business has probably made a big difference in that because it's going to increase your average ticket that you get across all your jobs. So here's my advice, Scott. There's a lot of different ways to look at this particular situation. And it really comes down to a few main things. If I'm going to leave my job, not only am I considering the amount of money that I have come in, but also the security, right? Because there is this thing about having some security, knowing that your employer has a big organization that keeps this money coming in for you every single month to pay for this position that you've been hired for. So it was really hard for me to leave my good corporate job in order to come work in the service industry and do what I do today. So for me, the linchpin was having not necessarily the right amount of money coming in, but having the ability to look and see the revenue generating potential of the business and understanding that if I went and I invested more time, that this business would do better at producing revenue and keeping the customers. So there's your ability to make more money, okay, but you're also your ability to keep those customers so that that money can be built upon, right? Because with the cleaning industry, you should be going back to these customers again and again every year. So first thing, Scott, do you have a system in your business to resell to your existing book of customers? Now, this could be meaning that you're calling them up, which is one of the least efficient ways, but it works. But you should also, if you're getting serious about this, at least take a little bit of time to deploy some automated features. You could use something like SendGem, Dope 360, or other means in order to send postcards to your existing book of customers. And if you already have a CRM, which at that revenue level you probably do, if you have something like House Call Pro, for example, you can go out and send quotes to that existing audience that you have to remind them to buy from you. If you're not doing stuff like this already, do not leave your job because your company is not ready for you to come in. Okay. And you can handle a lot of this like on a weekend or hire a freelancer to come and set it all up for you. Go in and have that client retention mechanism because that base revenue that you have is the lifeblood of your company. And if you are not continuing to use it, it's just a fundamental weakness. Now, next thing, getting new customers, which is what most people's focus really is. But it should be a secondary thing for a company that's existed for several years like this. So if you're going to go out and get new customers, how healthy is that? So Scott here has said that he has spent a lot of time building his marketing. So I'm just going to assume that it's performing well, right? And to Service Genius standards. Now, what that means is that you have Google Ads that bring in leads dependably, right? You should be looking at, for your side business, like 50 to 70 leads a month, maybe. Okay. And if your Google Ads isn't performing well, or you don't have Google Ads, you have a problem. You need a high performing website, and it should be optimized for SEO. So, some fundamental things without going real deep into it is that you need some automated bidding on there. Use something like Responsibid or House Call Pro that can give a quote right away. You need the follow up mechanisms so that once that stuff goes out, those people who don't buy right away continue to hear from you so that you can close on that deal in an automated fashion. And you should have, what is it? Google ads for bringing in the leads and some retargeting with Facebook ads. Now, all of these things on a fundamental, like minimum viable product level, can all be done by you, the business owner, without having to hire somebody. Now, the real optimal performance and the lucrative part of it, you do need a professional. Like, bar none, I don't care what anybody says. I'm a professional, and I've seen so many of these businesses. You absolutely do need somebody. Very, very, very rarely does a service business owner have a system in place that's operating at such efficiency that they would not benefit from having a professional come in and at least improve it. Okay. I mean, like a handful of companies that I've ever seen in all of my time doing this. And if you have those things in place, retention and getting more customers, then are you at least in a position to start doing all of the systems and processes for your business so that you can hire employees and come in and have them do the work while you stay in the office? That's when, if you're at this revenue level, you are probably trying to make the decision about going out to the field and doing the work, which will probably be necessary. But if you're going to do it and you're going to quit your job, right, it seems like a pretty good job at that pay level, uh, you should be doing it with the knowledge of the very next step that you need to make. Well, step 2 or 3 that you should make in the business to get it to continue to grow and be a solid, safe place for you to be. Because if you don't have these fundamentals in your business, retaining customers, getting customers, and at least a basis of some systems so that you can start to hand the work off to employees, you're taking a huge fundamental risk. Your business can hemorrhage money at any point or start to just fly off the rails and become too much to manage or too expensive or just not profitable enough. Okay. So, those are some of the fundamental things. Now, from there, there's a lot of things that we could talk about: mindset, about business structure, about how much money do you want to take home? Are you trying to replace the exact amount that you're making? Can you take less, et cetera, et cetera. But these are the things that I care about the most, because if you get these things in place in the business, everything else that's going on, except for your own personal mindset, everything else can be solved with money. You can hire somebody, you can pay money, you can fix that thing, but your mindset is the only thing that money won't change. Okay. All right. So my name is Lewis. I am the Director of Success here at Nonconformist Inc. We are the company that is the power behind the Service Genius brand, and we help the very best performing cleaning companies in the cleaning industry get the most customers, optimize their performance, and be profitable. So if you are struggling with getting enough leads, having direction where you got to go in your business, or you're just tired of spinning your wheels and you want to see things work better in your business growth, then why not reach out? We work in many different areas, and we can consult on your marketing, your sales, your operations, and all kinds of other things. Go ahead and just reach out. Let us know how it is that we can help you, and I can meet with you one on one to give you a customized plan for your particular situation. All right. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you on the flip side. Best of luck out there as you grow your businesses. And Scott, I hope that this works out great for you. Thanks for watching.